All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. So last week we discussed about basics of identity and access management and how SailPoint console looks like. What is the reason I have asked you or I'm taking you through SailPoint Identity IQ? Simple. Um, you cannot practice in identity now directly. Okay, so there is a challenge. So as we have discussed last time, so if you go to IdentityIQ/debug page, so you see here the debug page. Uh, you know, everything in this world is an object. An employee we refer it as identity object. Okay, application an object. Everything is an object. So you see here everything in SailPoint is an object oriented, right? So we have a object type called rule. What is this? Yeah. So you can see the rules and you can execute the rules here. You can select a rule. For example, main-data types. I don't know what is there. If I run, it prints. So basically, we call it as an IDE, Integrated Development Environment, right? So IDE stands for, I believe so. It's okay if you do not need to know about this. Integrated Development Environment. Some of them are, which is highly used in the market. Um, when I started my career as a Java, we used to use Eclipse. Uh, I am not at all using this. I'm using Visual Studio Code, VS Code shortcut, Visual Studio Code, and I recommend all of you to download as well. We will discuss on that as well in the coming sessions. Okay, so SailPoint has inbuilt IDE. So IDE is nothing but a place where you write the code, right? So it is interesting to see, a decade back, exactly to be precise, 2013, when I passed out, I was writing code in a notepad file, Java, and then I used to compile using command Java C and then run using Java command. Strangely, I was never succeeded with that. It was not easy, you need to have a lot of expertise to write the code and compile it and then see the errors, fix them, and then run it, see the output in the command line. It was not easy. But when you look at the IDE, you see here, you can write the code. If I take you to, existing code, you see the colors are there, at least, different colors that will help you to identify, okay, am I writing the code or not? You do not need to, run it or compile it to know what is wrong. Before that itself, you will see or you can identify that. Okay, so or if you go to very good, so this is debug page is kind of an IDE in SailPoint, but it's not that complete IDE if you compare with Visual Studio Code or Eclipse or or some other things like IntelliJ or JetBrains as well, right? For Python, different editors are there, or IDEs are there. So you can write the code and then uh, highlighting with different colors. You have that, and then auto compile. Self debug page doesn't have, but other editors will have. Auto compile means the moment you write the code, it will tell you whether the syntax is wrong or not. Okay, so syntax errors and then runtime error. So syntax error is nothing but compile errors. So syntax, nothing but grammar. Every language will have a grammar, right? Whether you take normal language, uh, English, or any other language, or programming language, both have grammar. It's not like you say whatever you want to, Similarly in programming as well. Okay, so that grammar we call it as syntax. Syntax is nothing but grammar. Okay, like for example, if you see it ends with semicolon. If you, every line in Java ends with semicolon, otherwise it will throw a compilation errors. Okay, so when you run it, you will come to know whether this is an error or not. But with the advanced features of IDE, you do not need to run it. Before running itself, you will come to know whether there is a problem or not. Okay, so that kind of features you have it. Cool. And what are the other features of IDE? Runtime errors, you have to run it. There is no other choice. After running, only after the logic is executed, in case if it finds, for example, what will happen if I divide any number with 0? Basically it's in infinity, right? But in it's an error. We cannot accept this in runtime, right? That we don't know until unless you run the code. Next, auto compile. So you get auto completion as well. Before auto completion, auto suggestion. So auto suggestion, when you keep typing the code in Visual Studio Code, for example, I will show you some other time. So you do not need to type completely these statements. You will get the suggestions. Okay. Auto completion means you do not need to type everything. Like I believe I do not need to say much about what is auto completion. Even if you're typing in WhatsApp, right, or even Outlook, if you're a working professional, you are getting suggestions, right? You just press 1 minute, please. If you just press a tab, it will auto completing. That's right. So all these things. Now you can write the code, you can execute the code, see the output, everything in single place. Everything in single place. That is the purpose of IDE, integrated development environment. As the name indicates, integrated. So all the features are integrated. It's not, distributed. You do not need, scattered into different places. You do not need to go to different places to get the uh, programming experience. Everything in one place, that is called IDE. Okay, so these kind of features are there in SailPoint debug page. Won't say everything, but most of the things are there. Okay, so in fact, I don't like this auto compile, auto sessions, and auto completion. These three things, because you are going to rely on this. Uh, you know, what makes you an expert when you do not depend on anything, right? If you keep depending on auto completions or auto sessions, you will not be able to write the code on your own. When I was Java developer, I used to get interviews to write the code in a paper. I was asked to write, because in computer maybe you will search in internet, right? After that, it was difficult to validate in paper manually, so they asked like, okay, write the code in computer itself, but in a notepad file. After that, they developed then some coding tools where you write the code, you do not see any suggestions or anything, right? So we want the code to be written by you completely. Don't depend on these things. Now, some of you might be thinking like, hey, we have ChatGPT kind of generative AI tools. Gen AI is generating the code. Why do I need to learn? Uh, that's a different completely topic. I can speak for whole day even. That's not true. Depending, charge coding will be gone. You will depend on Gen AI tools. That's wrong completely. Okay, that is also coding. They are doing coding in the backend. Okay, so that we will discuss some other time maybe. But I'm saying that you at least need to have basics to ask ChatGPT kind of Gen AI tools to write the code or to uh, validate the code. Don't think that every time it is correct. And also you will get code fragments when you're running or when you're dealing with a project. Don't think that in a with a prompt you will get entire code for your entire project. No, you will be running multiple times. Code fragments are pieces and pieces of code you get. You need to have coding knowledge to integrate them at least. Okay, so anyway, these are the IDE features. SailPoint Identity IQ we have in the form of debug page. In SailPoint world, we call it as a debug page. Identity now, we do not have this debug page. Okay, that is the reason why I started from Identity IQ. Second reason, the same concepts are going to be useful. Whatever I'm going to teach or I'm teaching, same thing is useful for both Identity IQ and Identity Now, both the products. Okay, the rules we started, right? Rule, you've been getting familiarized with that. Same concept in both Identity IQ and Identity Now. So when you go out there, you can say that I know in Identity IQ development, I know in Identity Now as well. You can work in both the products. The world will be in Identity Now 90%. 10% will be there in Identity IQ. Identity IQ is not going anywhere. It will be there for sure. Okay, at least 10%. It will be there. There will be a lot of clients migrating to Identity Now from Identity IQ. So you need to look into the code they have written. So to migrate from Identity IQ to Identity Now, you need to understand Identity IQ. Who is the killer resource in the market now? Who is expert in both Identity IQ and Identity Now? Because when the migration happens, it is easy to migrate from IIQ to Identity Now. Okay, that is the reason why I started from Identity IQ. Else, I would have taken you directly to Identity Now. It's okay. It's good to learn product Identity IQ as well. It's going to be useful to you as well. How you will see in coming sessions as well. Okay. I believe now you are good with the IDE features, what kind of features it is, and why we started with Identity IQ, and what are the benefits of learning it, how you can apply in your future. Okay. Now moving on. So we discussed about some data types and to store the data called as a variable. Where do you store the data? A variable. Okay, so we have discussed about data types. Basically, we have alpha, numeric, boolean data types. Okay, so alpha means characters and strings. We do not have characters in SailPoint. Actually, SailPoint, it is not core Java. It is a BeanShell. BeanShell is nothing but lightweight uh, core Java. Okay. Yeah. So BeanShell is nothing but lightweight core Java. Most of the Java concepts are same in BeanShell. There might be little differences, and I ask you to not to worry about it. It's same. You can consider like 100% it is same. In case one or two are little bit different, you will come to know it's no big deal. No need to worry about it or no need to stress your brain for that. Cool. So we discussed about data types. So alphabets, alpha data types are character and string. Character stores 1 bit. String, collection of characters. How many characters are there? Those many bits. Computer is nothing but everything has to be stored, right? That's memory units. How many bits it requires. Okay, so for numeric, we have seen byte, short, int, long. These are the whole numbers, So 8 bits, 16, 32, 64. 1 byte is 8 bits. Okay, next, uh, floating point numbers, fractions, float and double. Boolean, it's a one bit, true or false, either true or false. Okay, so these are the data types. Let's say I have a very big number. I cannot use integer, I'll use long. Example for long, what you will use. If you are a working professional already, we use Active Directory. If you are not, it's okay. I will explain what is Active Directory in future as well. So every day in the organization we log in, right? When we log in, somewhere it will be stored. When did you log in? Okay, that is like this. It will be 18-digit LDAP epoch format. EPOCH epoch. It's a Unix time format. Okay, so if you convert this, it will give you current date. Right? So there is a product called. Please go on mute.
Yeah, done.
Right? So there is a product called Active Directory. Active Directory. Generally, when we log into our organization, right? Even your laptop, you enter username password, right? Even fingerprint, that's also a credential, right? So, I mean, my computer, I'm using fingerprint, but in organization, they will not enable fingerprints. We will use still username password only. So when you enter username and password, somewhere it has to be verified, right? Whether the entered username password is correct or not. So if you are not a working professional, when you start working in any organization, what we do is we do Control Alt Delete to unlock the computer. It will ask for username password. Username basically either employee ID or email address. Okay, username password. So we entered this. So there is a requirement for us. If you do not log in for 90 days, 90 days, no login. To take some action, like why you are not logging in for 90 days, it means that you are not working at all. You are coming to the office, you are swiping the card, access card we call, you are coming to the office, but you have not logged in at all from last 90 days. Something wrong, right? You are not at all working. So there are some requirements behind this. So we will implement that business logic. I'll explain that in future sessions. So how we will come to know what was the last time you logged into your laptop or your computer? That we can see in Active Directory, because when you enter username and password, that is validated against Active Directory product. It is from Microsoft, highly used, or some other directories will be there. Okay, that in Active Directory we have an attribute called last logon timestamp. It's a small whatever. Last logon timestamp. This last logon timestamp will be available. The data will be like this, not as a date. It will be available as 18-digit LDAP. LDAP means lightweight directory access protocol. No need to worry about it now. If you do not know, it's okay. So this timestamp we need to read and we need to convert to the date like this and then process it. Okay. So when you extract this digits, you cannot hold this in integer. For example, if I go here and let's say I'll create a new file, main test. How do you create a rule? Just rename the existing rule, remove the ID. If you want, you can remove the created date as well if you want current date. Okay. Modify date, even if you do not remove, it's okay because it will get updated. Created date, it won't update if it is there. Modified will keep updating. Okay, refresh main-test3c. Current date is modified date is also taken old date. It used to be better earlier, maybe. I don't remember. Fine. This doesn't make sense. Created is 927, but modified is 920. Like I have a time machine. Doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. So now I'm gonna write this. Let's say integer int last logon equal to return last log. Let's see what it says. Spoiler alert, it will show as cache exception. It will throw that you cannot store this much big number into an integer variable. Let's see. So it says parse exception, number too big for integer. Now what I'm going to do is instead of integer, I'm gonna change it to long. Might get one problem. Let's see. Yeah, I changed it. But still it is constrained as integer. Some cache issues. When you change the type of the variable data type, it will take some time to reflect. Still old.
Krishna, just reselect the rule again.
Okay, sure. No, still it is considered wrong. Fine, we'll see that how much time it takes. Let me check this test for. Still this is wrong. Let me check with Java. No, it's a problem with cache issues only, nothing else. Let me see.
Four only, right? You've changed names.
So as we discussed last time, if you want to practice directly in Java, this is another way. So let me write here long L equal to, sorry, or is it bigger for long as well? I don't think so. Semicolon system dot output login date. Even for long, it is large. Seriously,
At the end, it should be L.
I don't think it is mandatory. Only for double and float we use, but yeah, let's see. It's working. It's good. I, I don't know why this is required. Let me try here as well. Yeah, it's working fine. Yeah. There is one change. Anyone know here? Not about L, I mean, there is something else about Java. Keep one thing in mind. We we are not using much Java in SailPoint world, but one thing is believe JDK 11 you are using currently. I'm not sure. Let me check mine. What is the Java I'm using? Java hyphen version. I'm using 17. Okay. So though we are using Java 17, our coding is still Java 8, I think so, or even below that. There are some new things. Just if you already know Java, just keep that in mind. There are some changes. Okay. Anyway, I don't recall. It's been a couple of years since I left IdentityIQ. I don't recall me using L at the time, but that's okay, fine. Since it is a long number, you need to add L at the end so that it will reflect. Otherwise, it will consider it as an integer. Anyway, the point you understood, right? Where you are going to use long, where you are going to use integer. Other data types we will not use in SailPoint at all. Don't worry about them. Okay, short never used, byte never used, integer we use long. I've given you a scenario why or when you will use long. Apart from that, nothing. Integer also, maybe counters only, nothing else. Or sometimes employee IDs. Sometimes employee ID. We get employee ID, right? Like this 100 something. 10203 or something like this. If it is an integer range, then sometimes they expect it as a number, not as a string. Then we need to pass it as a number. Okay. By default, everything in SailPoint is a string. Of everything, the data in SailPoint will be a string data. So we work a lot on strings. Very rare. Floating points, double decimal numbers, we never work on that. As I said already, we are not into financial stuff, right? We are not financial or banking. We are not writing programming for that. So you do not get requirements for that. So I would suggest like learn which are highly used. When you learn an expertise on that, of course, you are going to, you know, uh, uh, will be able to work on them as well. No big deal. Okay. So Boolean, obviously we use because we need conditions, right? I'll discuss in a bit. So we need Boolean all the times. Okay, so that is about data types. So why we need to use data type? Simple. Let's say I have a number, integer number. Why should I store it in 64 bits long? I don't need to wasting memory in the computer, right? So we have to save the memory, right? Otherwise, let's say that you have one small bag, one big bag. It's not like you can add how many you want in the bag. Memory won't work like that. Chunks of memory. So imagine like only one item should be fit into one bag. One bag, one item. A small item put it in a big bag, and there is a very big item. You cannot put that in small bag. Already big bag is used, right? You cannot use it anymore. There is no use. So what if you use small item for small bag and big one for big bag? That's the proper management of storage, right? That is what we do. Okay. I really wish that to go back and learn computer basics, how memory works, how the bits work, everything, how this if you maybe for motivation purpose, there is a movie called the or no the maybe social networking. This is the movie about Mark Zuckerberg. Go and watch it. It's there on Netflix, I believe, if you get time. Um, you will be amazed to see that movie. So we are missing some fundamentals. I wish to learn them as well. If you understand how a computer works in and out, you are learning core Java today, right? I'm teaching you core Java. I was having a question like how long I'm going to learn a language, when I will develop my own language. To be in that position, we need to learn fundamentals of computer in and out. Then you can write. I'm missing them because I'm not a computer science student even. So anyway, so I hope you got my point. So that is about data types. So in that string, we will work on it. Let's talk about string. So we discussed about a couple of strings last time. This is called commenting. What is the purpose of comments? There are two purposes of comments. You see here, these all are not highlighted. The color is different, at least, you know. So whatever it is written as a comment, those lines will not be executed. Okay, now here if you take this rule, all these lines are commented. So these lines will not be executed. It will be ignored. We have two type of comments, single line comments and multi-line comments. Okay, so single line comments and multi-line comments. So single line comment is, as the name indicates, just one line. So now you can see, for example, here. Okay, this is one liner. Let's say I want to, if I uncomment these lines, if I uncomment these lines, if I want to comment, let's say 10 lines, every line I need to add double slash like this. How much time it is going to take for me? If I want to uncomment them, again I need to one by one uncomment. It's going to take time. It's not a recommended way. Okay, so we need speed. So that is where we use multi-line comments. The multi-line comment starts with slash star. Where you want to end the commenting, let's say here, ends with star slash. So slash star and then star and slash. It's reverse. Okay. So in case if it is only one liner, you can use slash slash. You do not need to use this slash star and star slash. Okay, single line comment, multi-line comment. So what is the purpose of comments? Two purpose. One, if you do not, let's say that I have written this code. Don't think like every time the code what we are going to write will be very simple. No way. We might hustle for that, stress our brain, or you Google it, learn it, or discuss with your colleagues. You worked harder for that code. You tested everything is good. Now you came to know that it is not required. The code is not required. Are you going to delete it? See that the code is never not required. No code is never going to be useless. Every piece of code you are going to write is going to be useful. Now if I take you back here, why I'm writing it as a different file? Why won't I write a single file, main hyphen practice or main hyphen training for your guys? I'm working on all this thing for your purpose only, nothing for me in this, right? So I can create only one file, main hyphen training. I can just delete everything and I can recreate or use the same file. But I'm not doing it. Why? Suddenly one of you will ask me, can you explain about that? Which I have already explained. Do you want me to write the code again from the scratch? No. That's why I save it like this. But leave your purpose, generally in project purpose. Let's say I want a logic to, for example, this is how we can disable an account. This is the code. We'll discuss this in future. It's way advanced, right? I don't think that I remember this code every day. No way. See, we will be writing bunch of logics, bunch of things. Don't expect that I will remember or you will remember everything. Not easy. Okay, so these are not Java code even to remember. This is specific to SailPoint coding. It's very simple, guys. If you do not work on something for a week, it's slowly it's getting faded. Okay. Personally, for me, I stopped remembering anything. The reason is simple for me. I'm writing programming in so far I've written programming in 20 languages. I'm going into multiple languages. It's not easy for me to remember. Syntaxes are not easy for me. And also I'm not interested in learning much. So if you ask me to do some work, I'll right away do it, even though I don't know that. Because of expertise, you will also be in that situation. Okay, don't expect that you will remember everything. You might have done that work, but you will not remember much because you are not working on these kind of logics every day. So let's say suddenly you get this requirement. Are you going to scratch your brain again? Do the do the work from zero again? No, 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 that's not the correct way. Now I will store this file like this. One day when I read this logic again, I'm going to get this logic again and use it. Whenever I join a project, this is how I build the rules. If you are working in one of the projects which I worked, you will definitely come to know if Krishna worked in this project. Definitely will come to know. I don't think it will just forgotten like that. If I worked, you will see my code like this. I will build like this hundreds of files. First 1 or 2 months, it will take time for me to build all these logics. Okay, but next third month onwards, what I'm going to do is zero work almost. I get a logic, I know which logic to be used. I just open this and copy this and paste it there. Okay, you are asking ChatGPT kind of Gen AI tools, but long back itself I'm doing this practice, but I'm not asking any generative AI tools. This is my own AI, my own LLMs I was building for each and every piece of logic that you need in SailPoint. The bad thing was I haven't stored that code with me. I haven't taken, I haven't built my personal coding repository. That's the bad thing. Everywhere I built in my project, but I cannot copy from my project organization, right? So that's it. Okay. Remember, that is the reason I'm building it as a different files and going back now to the comments. Why I'm not deleting the code, why I'm commenting, because it will be useful in future. You built a logic and you came to know that it's not required anymore. Suddenly, after a couple of days or weeks, you might get a requirement like, hey, we need this again. Or you might get a requirement which is something similar. Now you remember that, hey, I built this code with some time back, and at the time they said it's not required. I can use this logic. Okay. Trust me, wherever you are going to work, the initial days are time taking because you are building everything from zero. But afterwards, it should be very easy. Just copy paste, copy paste. Okay, even I will be building rules. I remember like, hey, did I build this rule logic somewhere else? I don't remember. Still, I'll go and check everywhere. Now I will, once I see the logic, I remember, yes, this is what I need. I'll just copy paste it. I do not need to build from zero again. Okay, so that is the purpose of commenting. Okay, so that you can save this code for future. You do not need to delete and it will not be executed. Whatever it is commented, it will be ignored. Every language commenting is there. PowerShell, if you take, we use hash to comment it. Python also hash is used. Okay, so another purpose of commenting is, okay, now you will see the comments like this, most of the places like this, which is author Krishna, date 27 September 2025, requirement training logic, get substring, something I've written here, but and there will be a business logic. Now you will see the comments like this. What is the purpose of this comment? Simple to understand that who developed this code, what date, what was the requirement, and anything else. Like, let's say, hey, for now I have developed like this, but for future you need to change like this. I will pass on information. Okay. Now let's say that this code is not working fine. See, if you are working alone, it's very good. But it's very highly unlikely, right? You won't work alone in the projects. You will be working with other team members. There will be bunch of code written. We will be sharing same file. All the developers might have written simple logics. Some logic is not working fine. It is throwing exceptions, right? Instead of you touching that logic, who doesn't have any idea, let's say that you and me are working. Let's say that we 10 people are working in the same project. So there is a file or a rule or something, a very big logic is written. Some logics were built by me, some are built by other members of the team. Let's say that there is an error from a piece of logic. I haven't worked on that. I do not have any knowledge about it. Instead of me trying to understand and trying to see why this is throwing error or why they have developed the code like this, instead, I can ask them, hey, who worked on this code? It is throwing exception. It is blocking everything. Can somebody look into that? No one will look into that. Some people will forget that it's their own code. Everyone say, not mine, not mine, not mine. How will you? It's waste of time, right? So I was having that experience actually. I was having an exception. It is blocking entire execution. Okay, because of the logic they have written, it will work for their applications. For my application, it was throwing exception because the code was written very poor. I have told them that guys who developed this code, some guy came back. This is the exception. That was a junior guy and he tested. He said that it is working for me, no issues. I have given an exception as well. If you read the exception, you will understand what is the problem. He tested for his own purpose and for his own requirements, and he concluded that it is working fine. Get lost, something like that. I was like pissed off. What is this? Then I have sent a mail to entire team because no one was responding to me. Then I have sent like, guys, the code you have written like this. This is the logic. This is the problem. That is why it might work for you, but for others it won't work. This is the fix you're supposed to do. Currently, my life is easy, but I don't say for everyone. These problems you will get it. How do you avoid that? This is the way. Now I do not need to stress about who developed this code. I can read the name, who is the author of this code. Just go and talk to him. Just pass on information that, dude, your code is not running. It is giving exception. It's your responsibility to fix it. Or now you are working on this logic and you do not have any idea. You need to have a discussion or some question, something. At the time, it is going to be helpful. Okay, so there are, to summarize the comments, there are two type of comments: single line comment, multi-line comments. Single line is just one line. How will you comment? // multi-line comments /* and */. Okay, there are two purposes for the comments. One, to keep the code, don't delete it, but it should not be executed. One second is to have the information about the development and developer. Okay, that is about commenting. Hope it is clear. If you want to practice some code with the commenting, please do it parallelly in your console. Okay, next let's talk about some string methods quickly, and then we can jump into other topic. You need to understand the purpose of each and every concept. Okay, otherwise there is no use of learning. Okay, let's talk about a couple of things. So now I'm gonna remove this code because I want to build everything from scratch. Let's say string, I'm going to build two strings, string s1 equal to hello, string s2 equal to SailPoint. Why to say hello world? Why can't we say SailPoint? Now, business use case is, let's say, let's ditch the theories. Let's go into real time how it will be. String first name. Let's say Tony. String last name. Let's say Stark. Okay. Now I want you to get display name. So in a simple way to understand, we get the data from HR system. Okay, so the process is like when an employee joins the organization, when you go for interview, what is the process you follow? Who is the point of contact? Recruiters, nothing but HRs only. Okay, so you will talk to HR. HR is responsible for that, and HR will collect your data. HR application will be there. That's the data. Every employee data will be there in HR system. They are responsible for your data. Okay, that is our source of truth for SailPoint or any IAM product. We read data from HR system. Okay, so HR is not storing display name. HR is not calculating display name. They just have first name and last name. We need display name in SailPoint first so that we can use it in different applications. So how do you calculate display name? That is where you have a concept called concatenation. See now, I wanna tell about what is the purpose of this. So I have used the comment, single line comment. Okay, so now I need a display name attribute string display name. So how you concatenate just s1 plus s2. Let's say return display name. Concatenation is nothing but adding two strings. It doesn't need to be two. N number of strings you can add. Okay, so what will happen if I execute? Save main hyphen string, run it. See, I got hello world. What is happening? Oh, sorry, I didn't change here. It's very different compared with last time when I worked with IdentityIQ. See, I removed those variables even. I didn't save the file even, I believe. Somewhere it is stored. Cache, completely cache. It was better earlier days. Maybe it's good now or bad. I don't know. I'm not in IdentityIQ. So anyway, I changed my variables. Save. Yeah, Tony. There is no space. Better, right? If I give a space here. So how do you give the space? One more string. So just add one more string like this. Double quotes, space. Save it. I got the space, Tony space Stark. This is correctly displayed, right? That is the display name proper. Let's say sometimes you will see like you might be asked display name like this. If it is employee, it should end with, it doesn't have anything. If it is a contractor, then it should end like this, contractor, something like this. We will discuss about if condition to check whether the employee type is employee or contractor, then append to the display name. But for now, if it is a contractor, you can add one more string like this, double quotes, contractor. I need space after last name, so contract. Okay. Now I'm gonna save this and run it. See, Tony Stark and braces contract. Okay, that is what concatenation is, right? So one of the real-time use cases is display name. You will not get sometimes display name from HR system. Then you can calculate like this. Okay, next. This is about concatenation. I'll share the code as well. Next, let's say length. How do you find the length? This is done, right? I'm gonna comment this complete lines. Okay, I'm not gonna delete this code. I'll use it for future purpose. Length. It's a string s10 equal to hello world. Now I need you to find what is the length of the string. What is the length of the string? In olden days, when I was writing in C language, what I used to do now, I used to calculate each letter, 1H. So we were using some coding there. I don't remember exactly what was the logic we used to build. We can find it out, but not record anymore. So we used to get like this every letter, space, world. Then we used to calculate. The logic was built like this, H, E, L, L, O, like this. We used to get the count one by one incremented. But now, since Java, it is everything is a method oriented, object oriented. You do not need to write much code. You just need to call the method. So return, or let's say int length equal to s10 dot length. Return length. Okay, so now if you see, you know, the line here doesn't have spacing properly, right? All the lines here are spacing here, but this line is bit not having proper spacing. That we call as indentation. Indentation is nothing but space at the beginning of the line. Okay, so indentation is nothing but space at the beginning of the line. It is very important, not in core Java, but Python it is very, very important. Else Python won't work even. Okay, so indentation we call space. In Java there is no what can I say, impact with the indentation. It doesn't impact anything. Just for readability purpose. I just like how you guys want everything clean and nice, maybe your home or kitchen, the same way I love my code, so I want it to be clean. Okay, I don't like this. So now either you can add a space at the beginning like this. Now everything is properly indented, but how many lines you will add the spaces? If I open some programs, some lot of projects I worked on, many times I've seen the code was not properly built. I mean the spaces even. So instead of giving spaces everywhere or tabs even like this, okay. Instead of that, I have explained last time. You have here, you see this auto indent. Indent means spaces. See, it will change. Okay. So remember that I was working in one project and I was same apps. Shared my screen to one client and then uh, I was explaining the code and I was like, the code is not properly aligned or indentation is not good. Then I clicked this. Suddenly, thousands of lines of code properly aligned. Then my client manager asked, hey, how did you do that? What? That is indentation. I said this. Here you see here. Then he was like, shit, I didn't know this. I was spending a lot of time in adding spaces manually one by one, only each and every line. Right? So he was very happy to identify that. But my suggestion for you guys is we are IT, we are IT professionals, right? We are the most uh, cleverest, species in the world. Cannot say universe for sure, but in Earth, on Earth, I can say we are the cleverest people of any other, even scientists or anything. We are. When you are working in IT, I really feel bad when people ask me questions like, "Hey Krishna, how can I do auto indentation?" From last 1 year, you are working in the rules. And if you ask that question, I'll be very disappointed. Why? Are you are working from last 1 year here? Didn't you bother to read what these are here? Didn't you see that at all? That's very bad, guys. If you're an IT professional, you need to have some characteristics. One of them is looking at the screen. One or the other day, you should be having some curiosity like, hey, I've been working on the rules. It's been a while, but I've never looked into these things, what they are doing. It's very bad. Even now, out of the topic, someone is asking like, what is the link for joining Teams meeting? We have pinned the messages. At least for courtesy, you need to look into that, right? We have given the Git repository link. Go there, no? Read it at least. We have given every instruction, right? Someone will ask again, what is the meeting timings? Everything we are spending time and we have built it, and you guys are not reading anything. And if you're asking same questions and again, it's annoying for us sometimes to spend time for the same thing. Why did we spend time on those things? We built code, Git repository, instructions we built, we are updating everything there. We pinned the messages, we typed it and we pinned it. And if you do not look into anything, just one message if you ask, that's disappointing. The same thing here as well. If you are a beginner, if you are first time you are working on these things, that's what, right? If you are working in a project and you go to the seniors, if you are asking basic questions at the beginning, no problem. No one will be, having any issues about it. But after working for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, and if you ask a silly question, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, so you need to have a curiosity like this. Theme, I just theme only. There is no other feature here. But I might be wrong. But this was like not much of use. And also when my seniority is increasing, I don't get time to play around that. When I was at your level, I was having a lot of time to play around. But my suggestion is do that. Anyway, coming back here, I hope you understood the auto indentation. And this is line numbers to display line numbers or not. This is really required. I do not know why this option is here even. Who doesn't want line numbers here? We need line numbers. Why? When you are writing, let's say that I'm looking at your screen. Can you go to line number 20? If you do not have line numbers here, how can you go to line number 20? Second, when an exception is thrown, it will tell you which line number it got the exception or error. If you do not have line numbers here, it's very difficult, right? Will you calculate from this here? And another thing, as we are in line numbers, from where the line number will start? Not from here, definitely. It starts from source tag. The line numbers start from source tag. So, or you can subtract with the 3, -3. What is the line number for this? You might think that 19. No, 19 minus 3, 16. Should not count from 1, 2, 3. First 3 lines are not your Java code. It starts from source tag. You can consider like even this is not Java code, right? But actually you can write from here itself. Okay, so uh, the line, the code number starts from source tag, or you can subtract with 3. I don't know where. I believe yes, struggling actually initial days. I got an exception at line number 20, for example, but there is no code in the line number 20. Imagine like, let's say I got an exception at line number 18. I got exception at line number 18. Now I'm looking at my code and I see line number 18 is a comment. Then I use some bad words, some F words, and say like, what? There is no code in that SailPoint where you are throwing exception. Then it took some time for me to realize that the line number starts from source tag, not from the first line. Okay, so now you got exception at what? For example, 18. Don't look at 18. Go to 15th line. Okay, that is about line number. The last thing is line wrapping. It's just wrapping. Let's say if you have lines like this, sometimes we write the code very big, then let's say it will be like this. I'm just pressing something. It doesn't make any sense though, but you will see some lines like this. Very lengthy lines we write for the coding. It's very difficult, right, to scroll left and right and like this when you are understanding the code or developing the code. So if you click indentation, this one line is, you know, wrapped into multiple lines so that you do not need to scroll left and right, no scroll bar. Once I'm done with a piece of this line is done, it is working fine and I'm good with this. I do not need to worry about this line. Sometimes I feel like it is disturbing me, this line, then again I'll go back to wrapping. Clear? That is the purpose of wrapping and what is the purpose of or what is the real-time use cases. It's very important. Keep that in mind. Now I'm gonna run this. I get length as 11. How do you find length of the string? By using the length method. Now what is the real-time use case for this? Generally we have an employee ID. From HR we get something employee number. Let's say we got like 20. If you are working in a very big organization which is very old, there will be employees, right, who joined at the beginning. Their employee IDs will be we might be using employee ID as let's say 6 digits. Okay, so now if you look at here, you have 20. Only 2 digits are there. Now I need to add 4 zeros at the beginning. So if it is 20, to have a consistent employee number, I need to add zeros. So like this. Let's say that there is one employee whose employee number is 100. Then how many zeros I need to add? 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's say that there is an employee whose employee ID is 10201. How many zeros I need to add? Only one I need to add. Let's say that there is an employee whose employee ID is 1020306. 6 digits. I do not need to add anything. Right? So how will you build this logic? So what you are doing here, that is where the logic is. So if employee number is 20 and it is 2 digits only, so I need to add 4. Right? So it is 3, I'll add 3. So total is 6 minus length of the string. So here for 20, it is totally 6 minus current length of the string is 2. So you need to add 4 zeros. That is the logic. Right? That is the real-time use case. We can build this, but wait for a minute or a couple of minutes because we need to learn about if condition. There we can build this logic. Okay, that is where you need this real-time. Okay, that is the purpose of length. We will come back to this use case again. And after that, as I said, character, we will not use it, so ignore it. Next, let's talk about, I'll comment it. I'm explaining very slowly so that you will understand and you can practice at the same time. Okay, these are very simple logics. I'm explaining concepts only. We are not yet into the big good exercises. At the time I can give the gaps and you can practice. Okay. Or else shout if you want me to wait for a couple of minutes so that you can practice. Anything, fine. Okay. Next, compare. Let's say string comparison. Say string department equal to finance. If you do not have any questions, don't unmute yourself. So far we are defining strings like this, right? First name, last name, like this. There is another way you can define it as a string object. String is equal to new string. Okay. So do you think these both are same? Both are not same. So now if I compare these things, so you can use the method whether both are equal or not. So we have a method called equals. Now if I say obj dot equals, both are same, right? Finance. Let's see what it says. Obj dot equals department. I'll use a return statement for this. But it says true. Let's say, for example, it is small f, not a capital F. Here it is capital F. Save. Says Boolean false. False is not written. If it is not there, it is false. True, it will return. Okay, so don't think like the case is ignored. No, it's case sensitive. So let's say you wanna compare irrespective of the case. Then there is a method equals ignore case. There was a time I forgot to use this equal ignore case when I was building some code in a real project that wasted some time. I had to build again. I blindly use equals ignore case. Doesn't matter what I am doing. I will never use equals. I will always use equals ignore case. It is safe. See guys, so if you take HR application, there you will mostly they will have drop downs, you know. In HR application, I mean, they'll have an application, right? Or you will be filling your data, right? Most of the time, so let's say for example, you are filling the data. Are you typing your country? No. You are selecting your country in the drop down, correct? So that kind of drop downs are built in HR application as well. So it's easy. Every time you will get finance F capital only. But olden days, there were no much drop downs. There were people typing free text. When they type no, sometimes they will give capital F, sometimes they will give small f. We get these kind of issues in our IAM world. We still getting these kind of issues. Okay, you expect as capital F finance. Sometimes you will come it as a small f. Sometimes you get like everything as a capital. Like this also. I don't know. People were typing even today in the current AI world. Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah, hi Krishna. I just have a small question. Might be
Yep.
sound silly. I just observe actually other data types start with a small case, like string only start with the capital, like int,
Mm,
float, char,
correct, correct.
boolean start with the small,
Yes,
but the
yes.
string.
Yes, correct. String is actually not a data type. It's a object. It's a built-in object. That
Okay,
is the reason. Yeah. I'll answer more in maybe next session, maybe. It goes next level, advanced kind of.
okay. Thanks,
String
thanks.
we Yeah, no issues. That's a good observation, Sandeep. So string is immutable object we call. So what is that immutable object? We will discuss about that. Okay. Um, let's go into the basics. Later we will come into that. But yes, what he said is right. Every data type, int, long, float, double, everything starts with smaller case, but string, yes, it starts with capital Y because string is not a data type. String is an object in Java. Okay, it's an immutable object. Object is nothing but class. That's why you see here string object equal to or any variable. Let's say I can any variable name equal to new string. I told you in the first class, how will you create an instance of a class? How do you create an object? By using new keyword. Class name equal to did I no. Yeah, see here, this is the class name, variable name equal to new class. That's what I did. So it's an object. That is why you have methods. Which will have methods? Objects will have methods. Int is not an object. It's just a data type. That's why no objects. Okay. So something we call it as a primitive data type, non-primitive data type. String will comes into non-primitive data type, right? And you see the methods here. So string, which will have methods. So far we are dealing with methods, right? Length is also a method on string. So methods for which will have methods. Objects will have methods. What is an object? Instance of a class. What is a class? Nothing but blueprint or collection of methods slash logics. Okay, so basically there is a class. So Java, they developed a string class. It contains all the methods we are using so that you do not need to write the code. Now I have given length, right? It just dot length method, you got the output. You didn't count each and every character in it, HELLO like that. But in the backend, they have written the code for length method and there they are calculating each letter. Okay. So even comparison as well, even here, they are using in the backend some logics to compare each and every letter. Okay. I'll comment this. Fine, going back. So as I was saying, always use equals ignore case. Do not use equals until unless it is mandatory. Password, for example, when you are checking whether the password is correct or not, password should be case sensitive, right? Except password, I believe for anything you can use equals ignore case, no big deal. Okay, so until unless you think like, okay, most of the times people might go in this direction, like I will use equals, if required I'll use equals ignore case, but I'm suggesting to go in a reverse way. Always go with equals ignore case so that you will not be in a trouble. Okay, once by mistake I used equals method, I deployed the project. It went into the live as well, production deployment, but that it's a bug. They didn't find out in testing. Some other organization at the time, it was Infosys was my testing for my client. testing partner. They couldn't find that bug. It deployed in production, and after deploying, someone identified that issue and told me these are the bugs. And because of that, again, I had to, after some time, it's not like immediately we will fix it. Again, that's how, right, traditional software lifecycle projects will be. Software development will be different. We cannot fix it immediately. So I had to build the code again, deploy, test everything, go with the testing team. A lot of things, process I have to follow. And again, I had to work for a couple of days and build it. For what? Just equals ignore case. From that day onwards, I never used equals method. I always go with equals ignore case until unless I really need equals method. Otherwise, equals ignore case. Okay. So now the use case is, in case when you are comparing, when you are checking whether the objects are same or not, the data is same or not, then you should always go for equals ignore case. Okay, so let me give you another example here. I changed it to all capital letters. Here it is a different. Now what will return it? Of course it will be false only, but why it is throwing an exception? It is comment only. Anything else wrong here? I don't think so, but I'll close this. Save. Yeah, I don't know what is the problem, but even I commented it. Fine. I'll make it as caps. Save it. Yeah, it is false. Okay, so always use. Oh, come on. I used equals only. Sorry. Now I'm going to use equals ignore case. Save it. What is this?
It's a capital
Oh,
C.
yes. Save, run, cool, true. Okay, so that is the purpose of equals ignore case method. Always go for that. And I have another use case. Let's say string. Let's say department 2 equal to. Let's say department 2 equal to finance. Now, what will happen if I write this line? Department. Both are finance only, right? Department and department. What will happen? It says true. Both are same. Fine. What if I say it's an operator? We'll go to if condition. Fine. Leave that. Okay. So now you got it right. Equals and equals ignore case. Now there might be a question like, hey, can I convert this capitals into smaller or something? Yes, you can. Now return department dot. So we need to, I want to convert it to lowercase. So to lowercase. Okay. As you expect, it all will be in smaller case. The output will be, see, finance. Similarly, if you want to convert into uppercase. This I do not need to stress out much because the name indicates, right? To lowercase, to uppercase. To uppercase, so it will give me, but you might not find the difference. But what will happen if already capital letters, if you say to uppercase, nothing, there is nothing to convert. It just give you, oh, I didn't comment it. Yep. See, still capital, no problem. Okay, so I'm gonna use, let's say, obj object. This is finance, right? It's in smaller case. I mean, first letter is capital. So obj dot to lowercase. Return finance, all small letters. Okay, first letter is caps, but everything converted into smaller case. Similarly, you can say return obj dot to uppercase. Sorry. When it is a method, always ends with this braces. Remember that. Okay. Now I need to comment this. Otherwise, the code execution will stop at lowercase only. I need uppercase output. So finance here, everything should be capital. Yeah, finance. Okay. So where it will be useful for me, this lowercase and uppercase in real time in the projects, SailPoint or IIM project. Two reasons, two places. One, you need to have proper data name, right? I mean, proper name. I mean, first name or last name or display name. If you want to convert that, I think there is a case for, I don't remember that, first letter as capital and last letters as smaller case. So I'll check and I'll let you know. So I want this finance to be given output as first letter as capital, remaining letter as smaller, camel case. So I'll check if there is a method in Java for that. We'll see. If not, then there is another way workaround. That's a bit more coding. We will see that later. Okay, so we will use there. And second place is when we are building passwords. Passwords is what? A mixture of smaller case, then capital, then numbers will be there, then special characters. For example, maybe you might be using like pass @123, highly used password in the world. So you see P is capital, remaining letters are small @123. So password is collection of capital letters, small letters, right? So at that time you need this lowercase, uppercases. Okay, apart from that, nothing much, right? So other operators, let's see. What if the method is starting with or not? I mean, the data is starts with or ends with, right? So let's say an employee type is there, string employee type equal to, it is written like this, contractor hyphen X. Let's say, for example, there are different type of contractors in the organization. Okay, so for some users, the employee type is contractor Y. Some different are there. I don't want to check. I want to find it out whether this employee is a contractor or not. I do not need to check whether contractor X, contractor Y, contractor Z, like that. What if I just say that if it is starting with contractor, then that employee is a contractor. So for that, we have a method called starts with. Okay, so let's say employee type. I'll copy, I'll paste. It's okay. I'll type employee type dot starts with contractor. Okay, if employee type is starts with contractor, what will happen? It starts with contractor, right? So it will return true. Yeah, true. Okay, some example, or you can use for anything as the name indicates, starts with, ends with, similarly ends with as well. I cannot say this for employee type, but let's say here you are getting display name from HR system like this. Tony Stark contractor. Okay. You do not have starts with ignore case. I don't think so. It is not there. Starts with ignore case. No, it's not there. Okay. So now how will you calculate? You need to convert it to a case. In case if you are not sure that always you get capital C or small c, then what you need to do is your first employee type, you need to convert it to two lowercase. Maybe before going there, let me complete ends with, then I'll come back here. Okay. So display name is like this. You are not getting employee type. Instead, you are getting display name like this, contractor. If it is not a contractor, if it's just an internal employee, you get just see Tony Stark. Okay. Then I'm gonna say return display name dot ends with contractor. Actually, how it is ending, there is a brace as well. All right. Then okay. So let's see. It also says true. This is how you will find it. Okay. In case if they say small c, then you won't get it correct way. Sorry, small c. Then you will not get it. It's capital C you are using. Here it is small c. It says false. I don't think there is a ends with ignore case is there, but let me try ignore case. There is no such method actually. Method ends with not found. See, well, if you ask me what is the real talent or expertise, writing code in a correct way is not the highly talent. I don't believe in that. If you have ability to fix the errors, then the real talent is. That's why I pray that when you are learning or developing, you will be getting into a lot of exceptions. Okay, that is the real expertise. I used to take it as a challenge. I used to work with my friends, my colleagues, in my training batch as well. So when I started my career with Cognizant, my training batch, there were some 20 plus people in the batch. There are close to 30 people actually. So there, people won't help each other. First reason. I have I'm a very good talented person and I have good experience and expertise. I can fix a lot of things very easily and quickly as well. I have a lot of knowledge as well. How do you think? By helping others. I consider your issue as my opportunity to learn. If you also consider that, you will get a lot of expertise. Trust me. So at that time, from the beginning itself, I was doing that. It's like challenging for me. It gives me happiness when I fix something. So my friends used to my batchmates, they used to ask others. They were not helping. Maybe they don't want to help. Our second reason was, I'm only facing the issue. I'm not able to fix my issue. How can I help you? That's a very bad thing. Don't have such kind of thinking, guys. You have your issue, but that doesn't mean that you should not help others, right? Can help them as well. Maybe you know the answer for their issue and they know the answer for your issue. Who knows? It's not like Krishna knows everything. No, definitely not. You know something, I know something, I can fix your issue. Maybe I'm expert in that. Whatever I'm facing issue, you might be the expert in that. So if we both can help each other. Okay, so I used to take that as a challenge and I used to help my friends and go, go and sit with them and fix the issue. And from the beginning itself, I was. So I always say, like, do not see this, hey, I'm getting an error and close this and say, like, how can I fix what I have done wrong? No, stop it. First read the error, what it says. Read the error, guys. It will give you. It says that at line number 49, and it says method string not found. Yes, the method is not there. Where? At line number 49. 49 is a comment, as I said. Sorry, I need to correct something. I think it was source tag only. Even source tag it is not considering. If I run this again, it says at line number 49, where ends with ignore case. Actually, it is at 53, line number 53. I don't know if my memory is wrong or I don't remember correctly, or they changed SailPoint. It doesn't start with here. It is starting from here. 4 lines they are adding. So 49 plus 4, 53. Yeah, here it is coming. Fine. Anyway, so 4 lines, not 3, 4. So it doesn't consider source tag as well. Here it is considering from here. Maybe if you write the code here, what will happen? I do not know. You look into that. Okay, so read the error and understand what it is saying. Errors only will give you the information most of the times. Remember that. Okay, I changed it. Now, how can I fix this? I cannot change this. The HR, trust me, how many times you are going to talk to them, they are not going to change that. They will be making mistakes. Recently, I've been getting username with spaces. Like, let's say Tony Stark, right? They'll add Tony space Stark space. Why? That create a lot of issues for us as well. I'll explain that in a minute. So you cannot change that to you and they happened. I believe you are still with me and my screen is visible. So if HR team changed the what can I say, their way of working and everything you are getting properly, congratulations. Even help us, how did you change them? Okay, so now what I'm here is, so Tony Stark contractor, I'm gonna convert it to first some use case, like some case, like let's say display name, right? I'll convert it to lowercase, and then ends with, I'll use only smaller case. I'm converting everything to lowercase here, and then checking whether it is having contractor or not, all lowercase. Similarly, you can go for uppercase as well, convert everything to uppercase, and then you need to use contractor as uppercase here, but we don't use uppercase. In programming, we don't use uppercase. Most of the times it is lowercase only. You can look into my characters here. Whatever I have typed, mostly smaller case only. Now it will work. Just okay. Next, I was telling about HR will be, giving this spaces, right? Unwanted spaces. String first name equal to, let's say they have sent it as Tony spaces by mistake. Even it's not like HR is typing. Sometimes when they're copy pasting from Excel to something, they'll get unwanted spaces as well, right? So now if I say return first name, right, it will give me Tony and spaces. See, unnecessary spaces are there. How can you avoid these spaces? You can use trim. So return first name dot trim. Okay, if you use the trim method, it will remove unwanted spaces. You see now there are no spaces. You do not need to calculate like, hey, how many spaces are there, remove and nothing. Just use the trim method. There are other methods as well, like what if I have spaces in the beginning as well? This also will be removed. See, you got Tony. There are other methods as well. I really don't have use case, but left trim, right trim also you have it. Left side you can trim, right side also you can trim. Okay, so the methods are This is okay. So first name or return first name dot strip. It is a stripping, lead. I hope this is supported here. Let's see what it says. See, Tony, right side spaces are there already. I mean, spaces are removed. Only left side, these are removed. How to remove the left side, sorry, right side strip trailing. I'll comment this. See, right side is removed, left side is still there. I cannot say any use case. I'm not in Java world now. I'm in IAM world, so I do not see the use case for this, like leaving the spaces at left side or leaving the spaces at right side. So we don't use this. We use this. So that left and right, the spaces are gone. Okay, this is how we remove the unwanted characters. What is the use case? Perhaps you can use for most of the attributes in IAM world. Okay, maybe you can add trim method for everything, whatever you are getting from HR system. That's okay. Nothing we are losing. It's a safety check for us. Okay, I'll I'll give a use case. So I was looking at a user. I went here. Identities. We do not have any identity yet. We will come to that in the next session. So if you look at here, for example, SP admin or administrator is the last name. I got an exception something, and I was trying to understand, and there was something I found out. I didn't find out the space was the problem at the time. I got an issue, and I was examining that user, and when I looked into the user data, it is looking like no spaces are there. That's why I'm highlighting this word to see if there are any spaces. No spaces are there. Then I went to the SailPoint database. There I checked the data. There were spaces. In the user interface, when the SailPoint is displaying the data, they are trimming the spaces in the user interface. But actually the data in the database, actual data is, when I write the code and extract the data of a user, which we will do in coming sessions once you are good with Java basics, right? So there, I was seeing the spaces. I was like, come on, guys, there are no spaces. I'm looking at the user interface. I do not need a space. I don't see the spaces. The reason is in SailPoint user interface, the spaces are removed, but actually the data has spaces. So I went to the database and I checked it and I have seen the spaces and then we fixed it. Okay, so you will find unnecessary issues. So it's okay to use trim method everywhere, no problem. In case if HR team and come and say that. So free text, drop downs. Drop downs basically no problem because they will not, they will select only right from the available data from the drop down like this. This is drop down. I'm not typing anything. I cannot type even. I can select only. So these things will not go mistake because the developers will not give the spaces for alert values, right? Free text means like this I'm typing. You can ignore drop downs, no problem. Whichever you are getting as a free text, perhaps it's better to use the trim. Okay. So that is about trimming, removing the spaces. And next is one last thing I can say, substring. How do you get substring? What is the purpose of substring in real time is when building password, let's say, I'll comment this. I have first name equal to Tony Stark. Bored with Tony Stark? Some other name, maybe? Sure. What is the Batman's name? Forgot. Yeah.
John
Bruce Wayne.
Burger.
John Worker. Sure. Last name. Is this burger? Whatever. So I have first
It's
name
correct.
and last name. I have employee ID. Cool. String employee ID equal to, let's say, 102030. Okay. Now I want you to generate the password as, I'll write it as a multi-line comments. Generate password with logic as first two letters of first name. Then first two letters of employee ID. Then last two letters of last name. How many we got? 6. I need 2 more. Add 2 special characters. This is the password combination. This is how actually we generate, and not like exactly like this. A little bit different. What can I say? Standards we follow. Password standards with below standards. Okay, so we follow like this to generate the password and set the password. Later user will change the password and set whatever they want to, their girlfriend name or boyfriend name, your wish. So but at first we need to generate a random password like this. Okay, so how will you extract the data? I need first 2 letters of the first name. That is where you need the substring. Okay, so how will you get the substring? So substring syntax is, the method name is substring. We need to pass the indexes. Index means 0th letter is J. I told you last session as well. The index always starts with 0. In computer, everything starts with 0. We don't start with 1. Everything starts with 0 only. Okay. So what is the length of this first name? Means 4. Total 4 is there, but indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3 only. 0 to n minus 1 or length minus 1. Okay. So int begin index, comma int end index. That is the syntax. Or you can use like this as well. Substring int begin index and do not give end index. These are the 2 methods of substring. Let's use both of them and find it out how this will behave. So let's try with the first name. So return first name dot substring. I told you always the index starts from 0. So go with 0. What will be the output? It starts from 0 and will give you everything available. So I would expect John as the output. Why is that? I'll save this. Maybe session is expired or syntax errors. Let's see. Okay. Cool. But earlier you see there was giving an exception. In initial days, you don't believe me. I was scratching my brain. What is the problem? What is the problem? Everything looks good. There is no syntax error even. Because your session is expired. Just now I logged into my session, right? Stupid, this SailPoint would have said like, hey, your session is expired, log in man again. Before closing this, say copy your code. I couldn't save your code because session is expired. It will not tell you. It will just say unexpected error occurred for everything. Single response. Okay. So don't think that when you click save, it will throw you unexpected error occurred, maybe syntax exception, or maybe session is expired. Okay. Always copy your code before closing. Otherwise, you have to build from scratch again. Okay. Remember that. Now I saved it and I'm going to run main-string. See, I got John because 0 to everything I got as an output. Okay. Now let's say 0. I'll give you not 0. Let's say I'll give you 1. What will happen? What is the output? OHN, because it starts from first index. Okay. What if I give you ending index as well? If I say 1, 2, how many you will get? Let's see the output. Just O only. Why? Why O only? You might have expected that I'll get as starting from 1, so which is J, O, and ends at 2, right? So 0, 1, 2 ends at 2, so I should get H as well, right? No. The end index is always -1. Whatever you have given 2, right? It will be -1. Whatever the end index you have given, it will be subtracted with 1. Or you can understand like this. Starts from 1, total number of it's from the beginning it should be like 2. So J and O total 2 in that. So it is selecting how many characters from the beginning? 2. And you are getting only 1 out of it like that. R. That might be confusing a little. Instead, remember like begin index is always same. It starts at that position only. End index always is subtracted with 1. Okay. Let's say for example, burger is there. I'll use last name. Substring, I'll go with 1 to 4. You get 3 URG. Okay. What will happen if I give my index, let's say something 10? I don't remember. I expect an exception. Let's see. Because there is no 10 letters here, right? Yeah. Index out of bound exception. Okay. So that's why we should not give how many you want to. We need to look into the number, right? Anyway, so now let's begin with subindex for password. So I'm gonna assign string, or let's say first 2 letters of the first name, right? I'll use return statements. Later I'll concatenate. First name dot substring starts with 0 because I need first 2 letters. So starts from 0. And I need what? How many I need? It's a 3. I'm getting J and O H. I don't want 3, right? I want only 2. So what is the correct index? 2. Starting from 0 and I need 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. End index is what? Starting index always stays as it is. End index will be subtracted with 1. So 0 to 2 minus 1, 1. 0 to 1. So 0 and 1, 2 we will get it. If you want, I can run this and show you. You get J and O. Next. Similarly, return. Next is what? First 2 letters of employee ID. So employee ID dot substring. Same, you can use 0 to 2. You don't need to execute this. You already seen first 2 letters. Last 2 letters of last name. That is tricky. Let's see, return last name. How will you say it as a last 2 letters? Simple. Last 2 means I can find the length, right, of last name. So last name dot length. subtract with 2. From there, I will get all the letters of last name dot length. Yeah, you can see this output if you want to. So what is the output? ER should be there. Let's try what it will give. Oh, length and undefined variable last name. Small n I have given here one place. Yes. But this. Okay.
Line
For
number
also.
66.
Last
Length.
name spell mistake.
Thank you. I updated everywhere. Hope this is correct.
At line 66 also.
Okay. Oh, it's correct only, right? Oh, sorry, sir. Yep. Thank you. Last name. Correct spelling, I believe. Yeah, I got ER. Is this the last two characters? ER. Right, correct, right? ER. So how do you calculate last two letters? Like this. Python is very simple. If you give -1 index, it will start from reverse. Python is very easy compared to Java. It's less coding there. Anyway, time will come for Python as well. Don't think that guys, you are learning Java, you are learning programming. Same concepts are used in every language. Okay. So now we have everything, and I need two special characters. So that needs a bit more advanced kind of coding a little bit. So wait for that. For now, I'll hard code it. Let's say something I'll hard code it. I don't want to show because I need to use some random mathematical functions, everything to generate any two special characters like that. Leave that for now. I'll comment this as well. Now I'll concatenate this. So string password equal to. So I got first two letters right here. I'll copy it. Sometimes you might see people, or even you, that's not wrong. So you might see like assigning this variable value to another variable. First two letters of first name, first two letters of last name, and then using here. You don't need to use like that. Then let's say that I'll use some special character. So I'll hard code it like this. Then employee ID dot 10. Again, I can go with this last. I can add one more special character. Then let's say exclamation. Then return password. So you got output password. This is how I'll copy and let's validate, is this the correct password we wanted or not? Let's not be overconfident that we got an output that is enough. No. So first two letters of the first name. Let's build the password. What is the first two letters of first name? J-O. So I got capital J-O. Then first two letters of employee ID, which is 10. Then last two letters of last name, which is ER. So JO is there, at the rate special character we added, 10 is there, ER is there, and exclamation, correct password. This is how you need to validate. Sometimes you might go wrong. I'll confess. I learned Java, 10, 12 years back when I started my career. After that, I never learned Java. Nowadays, I'm not using much Java even. I mean, I'm using Java, but not like a full stack developer every day. I might not use Java even. I'm not learning anything even to explain it to you guys. I'm just commenting things out. Now, if I'm writing the code, don't think that everything will go correct only. No, I might miss something. How we will validate is like this. Everything we need to validate, check and see the output. Clear? Instead of explaining more, but it is taking time for every scenario and example, but that's okay. Hope you are learning something. Okay, the last thing before closing for today, I'll explain just one if condition, and then we can close. Just bear with me for a couple of minutes. So branching we call nothing but conditions. If that happens, do this, else do that, like that. So commented. So we have two branching conditions, or one only you can consider if condition. If else, if else if, actually space, and then else. Okay, so like this, for example, you might have seen that crazy example always that will come. Int a is equal to 20 if age, operators we use like greater than or equal to 18, then let's say return you are allowed. Else return string you are not allowed. Okay, this is a crazy example always we see for if condition beginning. Yeah, so if you run it, you'll get you are allowed. In case if I go ahead and change the age to, let's say, 10 years old, underage, you are not allowed, like that. You can add else if as well. Else if age at least less than or equal to 10, then you can say you are a child, right? Below 10, let's say at least you can say, like, maybe for example, if it is not greater than or equal to 18, means it is less than 18, but greater than 15 at least, or let's say maybe 15. Let's say, I'll say 13 at least, to say you are a teenager, else return you are a child. So what is the age? 10. What is the output we expect? Is it greater than or equal to 18? No. Is it greater than 13? No. So you are a child should be getting as an output. You are a child. Let's say if I say 15, 14, teenager, you are a teenager. Like this, we use if, else, if conditions. It's very simple, nothing to be complicated or worried about it. So you can use if, else. Or you can ends at if, else, if only. Do not need to write else. Or you can just say if and else as well. Your wish. Anything as per your requirements. This we call it as a branching, like a branch. So what you want to do here. Let's say now, if you take real-time scenarios, now we had employee type, right? So if employee type is contractor, do something. If employee type is employee, in-house employee, do something. Like that, we use if else conditions. Now, in order to use this if conditions, you need to understand the operators. So operators are nothing but, as we discussed, we are not in financial or banking sector to deal with a lot of operators, but we will check the operators as well. So some of the operators are, even this is also an operator, arithmetic operators. So equal to is assignment operator. Okay, so let's say, for example, int age equal to 14, right? If I type int age plus plus, what will be the output? It should be 15. Oh, parse error. Can't I use plus plus outside? Interesting. I cannot use, maybe inside loops only I can use. So age plus equal to 1. What would be the output? Oh, why did I use it? Return age plus plus. Let's see whether it will give me output. Yeah, 14. Still 14 only. Let's say age plus plus.
That is the increment operator. So
Yeah,
using after that age, after
yeah,
that you can again run that is assigned another value 15.
yes, that's correct. Now 15. Because what we call it as post increment operator. Plus plus is nothing but plus plus by default adds one number, just one. Okay, so this is called post increment. Okay, similarly you can write, let's say at the beginning, if I add plus plus pre-increment, what would be the output? 14, right? It will be 14 here. After that it will increment. So by next line it will be 15, and here itself it will update. So 16 you will get the output. So pre-increment, post-increment. Where we will use this? Only in loops. We are not yet in the topic. We will discuss that. Okay. In case if you wanna increment this age plus plus, you can write as age equal to age plus 1 as well. If you see this line here itself, it is incrementing and assigning it here. This one is next line post increment. So after executing this line, next line it will increment. Post execution, the increment will come. Before execution only increment should come, that is pre-increment. Okay, a is equal to age plus 1 also you can write. If you want to write 10, you can write like this. A is equal to age plus 10. So age current value is 14, 14 only, but coming here 15, 15 plus 10, 25 plus 1, 26 is the output here. Okay, so you can use like this. You do not need to write a is equal to age plus 10. Instead, you can write it as age plus equal to as well. Both are same. I mean, when you are a pro developer, we do not write more lines of code. When we are beginning, we write everything, and when we are increasing our expertise and becoming a pro, the pros are like lazy people. The experts are very lazy. That's good. We don't like to work much. We don't like to write much. We don't like to do much. We would like to complete it as early as possible with minimal work. That's very good because we are lazy. That's also a good character. So I don't want to write a is equal to age plus 10, which will increase time to type, right? So this is how we write. Okay, both are same. Age plus equal to or age equal to age plus 10. Everywhere I'm giving spaces here. That's a good standard. Good readability, right? Easy. If I do not give spaces here, it's clumsy. It's difficult to read and understand. That's why I use the standards. Okay. Similarly, for plus, you have minus as well. Plus plus minus minus. Pre-decrementer, post-decrementer. Okay. So some more operators like I think I do not need to say arithmetic operators. And we can practice that as well, no problem. Plus, minus, division, multiplication, we use star, percentage for modulus. These are the arithmetic operators. Don't divide with 0, you will get infinity exceptions. Okay, sure, I can show you that what it says, SailPoint. Yesterday I was seeing somewhere in Instagram reel, what will happen in a mechanical calculator when you divide with 0? It is not ending. That's where infinity is. Arithmetic exception, divided by 0. It will not allow. Otherwise, the computer will never stop running. It will be a problem. Okay, do not use 0 divided by zeros. Not required. Okay, so some more operators are there, like logical operators. For that, we need to go into next level of coding. I will explain the next session. Whatever I have explained today, I will convert this to a PDF document. I'll paste the code as well. I'll give the exercises as well. I'll write more exercises, and you please practice. Remember, it's not about how much you learn, it's about how much you practice. Okay, I always say this line. You might have heard maybe from me earlier even. My brain, see, I'm typing this much code. Trust me, sometimes I feel like it's been many years since I was developing in Java. Do you remember everything? My brain says that you won't remember, but when I touch the keyboard, my finger starts typing. I wonder sometimes, like, does my fingers has memory power or what? That is what practice is. If you practice a lot, that's the power you get. Even if you try after 10 years, your fingers might remember that. More the practice in programming, more the expertise. Okay, and last thing about the methods, it is like, if you are from India, it is like Mahabharata. If you take astras, or if from anywhere country, its methods are like weapons. You need to know. That's it. In C language, C++ language, for everything we used to build our own logic. Now I have shown you length method to calculate the length of a string. I can show you without length method when I use the loop, maybe in next session. So that's not required, but just to amaze you in the programming, how it used to be in the olden days. Okay, so the point is very simple. Methods. You need to know the methods. Which method is used for what purpose and what is the syntax of the method. Even today, what I do, sometimes if I do not remember much, I'll go here, maybe in, now I'm using ChatGPT as well, but I used to read Java documentation a lot. I'll just go on Google, like uh, ends with method. Java end string ends with method. It will give me syntax. Because if I take Visual Studio Code, you will get the suggestions there automatically, but we are using SailPoint. You won't get suggestions here. This is very good because I really love Batman or Iron Man. I love Batman more than that. Have you ever seen they searching in Google, writing the code and checking the syntaxes, testing the code even? No. I know it's a fantasy, it's a cinema, it's it's not real, but not impossible, right? I really wonder, sometimes, like, I see there is a movie about Google internship, internship movie, Intern, I think, movie name. So in that movie, I've seen like one Japanese kid, he says that I'm a graduate. He says like, I develop a program in 1 hour and I deploy in Android store, Google Play Store. 1 hour. That's the power of coding. That's the power of, you get when you practice like this. Do not depend on suggestions, auto completions. You learn nothing from that. I like hard way of learning. I want to be myself and I want to have the power with me, not like depending on the, uh, ChatGPT kind of or suggestions from IDEs. Here I am typing everything. Barely I'm having is colors only, nothing else. I love this way. I do not force everyone to follow me, but this is the best way because you get more expertise. Okay, so that is it for today's session. I'll post all the exercises and everything about strings and if condition. Please practice. That will give you more, what can I say, exposure towards programming, and your soul should feel the programming. Then only it's easy. I'm yet to discuss some kind of little advanced topics. I'm waiting for you to get the speed there. Then I'll explain. Whoops, I need to discuss. It's a bit hectic concept. I need to wait for some time. Okay. So again, I'm repeating. It's not about how much you are learning. It's about quality of learning. And you do not need to spend 6 months or 1 year to become an expertise. For me, it just took 3 months. After that, I never learned anything in SailPoint programming or development. I will make you feel that as well. Right. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll check chat if any messages are there. If not, we'll see you in next week.
Krishna,
Thanks, Chris.
I I have a query regarding this methods. Actually, the methods you used in this in a session, so those are actually predefined one, right? So Java has a list of predefined methods, and
Correct.
did we can we customize those things, or is there any capability to make our own methods as well?
Yes, you cannot customize the existing SailPoint methods. You know, I would say don't let's not go with that discussion even, because it's like, it's like you are changing your entire computer. Understood?
Right,
The
right.
operating system. So let's not go there. It's possible. I won't say impossible. You need to have a lot of expertise of programming to do that and understand how Java works, JVM, everything. Let's not go there. Yes, you can build your own method, custom methods, and use that. It's quite common. Last session we discussed about, right, building your own methods. We haven't written any methods, but we will write our own methods in the next sessions. Yes, whatever the logic you need.
Okay, and can we get a kind of document or any link to what are these predefined methods available in Java and what their use is? Yeah,
Yes, I will. You will get them.
sure. Thank you.
No problem. Yes, Vivek.
No, thanks. Thanks, Chris, for this help. Because of that, I have a lot of that. Try to build my career in that development area. So I have started practice with your videos and with this training. So it's
Okay.
help for me. Thanks for this help.
No problem. I'm happy. I'm really happy if you are learning already. Let me read the messages. Can we run a method directly inside the output using println or return method? Yes, Harish, you can run a method. We need to write the method. We will discuss more in the coming session. If I am just explaining the concept and give an example and go to the next topic, maybe it can go a bit faster, but not at the right time. Initial sessions, we need to go slow so that every one of you should understand. Then yes, we can go get into that as well. For objects, Harish Kumar, can't we directly use arithmetic? Our string is an object example. Object does, we have a method such as equals to compare object strings runs department. Yep, we use that as well, right? You can use methods. One more thing is there in string, or couple of pointers are there. We will get them, Harish, in the later point of time. So you gain the. I'm avoiding all the complicated stuff now. I don't want you to go to the complicated or complex stuff now. Just what we are doing is basics. Okay, there is a level, right? Beginner level, medium level, expert level, like that. I'm skipping all the hectic things, making sure that it's easy for you and it's very simple. You are gaining little expertise now. That will help you to understand those things. So just wait little. Um, Next, Jubir, email address also generates same like this, right, Jubir? Yes, Jubir, that is correct. Sometimes we use first name dot last name at the rate of domain.com. Some organizations, they use first letter of the first name and then last name at the rate, and of course we need to have the counter as well. That's counters as well. Maybe yes, thank you for raising the email. I will keep writing it in my somewhere exercise is, once we understand, once we go through each and every concept, and practice a little bit and little bit, then yes, I'm gonna bring these use cases. There will be no concepts in a couple of sessions, only exercise. We discussed about the basic, the concepts you need to build the code. So after that, we will build these kind of use cases. This is what gives you expertise, right? So yes, we will discuss. So second, someone had posted a question that is US and facing some struggle with finding a job because more than one skill is being asked. So that the aim actually to learn multiple tools, IAM, PAM. Yes, that is correct, Suchika. This is off the topic here, but yes, you need to look into the job description and whatever they are asking, and you need to go through them. Thank you, thank you. Hari's answered already. That's good. All right, there are no questions. So come on, guys. Anything else you would like to discuss? You can ask anything other than programming as well. No problem. Anything about your career or sure. If not, then thank you. See you in next week.
Thank you, Krishna. Bye.
Thank you, Krishna.